Sugar-sweetened beverages, also referred to as SSBs, have caused a major concern in health issues, including diabetes and cardiovascular disease. However, the SSBs have also been a potential to impact the employment rate in the United States negatively and or positively, and we're going to discuss that today. What we would like to do is talk about the 20% sin tax that has been placed on sugar-sweetened beverages and the potential impact that that has on employment rates in the United States. While we review, what I would like for you to understand is the alternative options can also impact employee rates. My goal today is to show you the effects 20% sin tax on sugar-sweetened beverages have or can affect employment rates. So the information that I'm going to provide to you today is directly through a macroeconomic simulation model that allows us to see the impact that a 20% increase or a 20% sin tax has on sugar-sweetened beverages. We'll begin by talking about the incline in employment rates, and then we'll also talk about the decline in employment rates, and we'll conclude by talking about the alternative options that could impact the employment rates. The increase in employment rates from sin tax on sugar-sweetened beverages, they have a potential to increase when the sin tax on SSBs come from an alternative to SSBs. What that means is that it gives us an option other than the sugar-sweetened beverages. So once that occurs, there is a potential increase in employment rates. There is an article that I got this information from, which is called the Employee Impact on SSB Taxes, which shows us the simulation model to provide statistics on the increase of employment. The model shows employment increases when alternatives to sugar-sweetened beverages become another source of intake for Americans. Although the tax increase is potentially likely to increase, we can also see how the employee rate can decrease. So we're going to talk about the decrease of employment rates on sin tax from SSBs. Through the simulation, we noticed that it's not really apparent that there's going to be a decrease in employment rates. One of the reasons why, and we get this directly from the article, is that companies who have a decline in sales have options for employment in other companies, or the employees have options for employment with other companies, or the other option is if the company actually sells non-sugar sweetened beverages, that their need and demand might go up, which means they have to staff for that, or those individuals actually get to keep their jobs. The simulation shows that the decrease is very rare. After seeing the decrease of employment not likely, let's talk about the alternative. So the alternative to sugar-sweetened beverages is non-sugar-sweetened beverages. That gives the opportunity to change or keep the employment rate almost the same. Sugar-sweetened beverages have been sources of health issues, and sin taxes have been used to change behavior patterns in Americans. The article addresses the impact on employment through increased sales of alternatives to SSBs, which is what we've been discussing. Employees maintain staff if they offer the alternative to SSBs, and they may lose staff if the alternatives are through a different company. So the employees will go where the demand in staff is. In conclusion, what we've discussed, the effects of the SSBs had on employment rates. First, we discussed the increase in employment rates, or the potential increase. Then we discussed the decline or potential decline in employment rates. And then we concluded with the offset of the alternative employment options because of alternative non-SSBs that are available. The goal of today's presentation was to show the effects of employment rates created by the 20% sin tax on SSBs. And as you have seen, the statistics show that the increase in employment rates when taxes encourage consumption of non-SSB products. The decrease of employment rates are actually offset by new employee opportunities in alternative industries. There are other studies on the impact of sin tax, also available in the tobacco industry and other similar health-related concerns from consumer products. It was Robert Kennedy who said, "Progress is a nice word, but change is its motivator, and change has its enemies." Thank you.